Under sports cars.
Rated over 30 miles per gallon.
Fairmont.
And Zephyr.
The #1 midsize cars and wagons.
With 6-cylinder manual powertrain. Also rated over 30 miles per gallon.
Better than Valari.
And Malibu and Le Mans wagons.
And don't forget us. We're the best van.
And the best pickup for fuel economy ratings, too.
Ford, #1 for fuel economy ratings in more ways than one.
Here's Gordie Howe for Amway of Canada.
I'm one of 500,000 Amway distributors worldwide. I'm meeting men and women from all walks of life who've also started their own part-time Amway businesses. With Amway, they meet new people and earn extra income. Come join our world. With Amway, you can do it too.
Contact an Amway distributor near you.
Get the whole story.
Here, from Braun, in the domain of the rotary shaver, is the Braun Micron. Look, this is the shaving area of the rotary head. The Braun Micron foil is 30% thinner for a closer, cleaner shave. The thinner the foil, the closer Braun shaves. Our design is to shave you closer than the rotary. The Braun Micron.
We've got a 1-1 tie here in Vancouver after 2 periods of play. It was Richard Martin for the Sabres in the first period. That was his 4th goal of the season. And in the second period, Darcy Rhoda tied it up for Vancouver at 4:42. Shots on goal in that second period of play. Vancouver outshooting Buffalo 10-9. Well, with me now is the injured Canuck netminder Glenn Hanlon. And Glenn, I have to believe that somebody is trying to tell you something about playoff hockey, because you didn't play last year and you were injured making your first start for the Vancouver Canucks in playoff action last night. Tell us how it happened.
Well, it was a very harmless type of play. It was just a 2-on-1, ordinary 2-on-1, and Ramsey came down with the puck, and I was more or less moving out, and he took it a bit wide, and I had to reach out with my goal stick, and my arm kind of got twisted out behind me, and somehow my arm, when I got up, it wasn't right.
Glenn, we're going to take a look at it now. We think this is a play that you may have been injured on. Perhaps you can once again recount it for us. Apparently it's not quite ready, so I'll ask you what the doctor has said about the injury.
Well, I was in the hospital last night, and they took an X-ray for broken bones, which I knew would prove negative, but they have to wait a week so I can move my arm before they can give it a dye job and swish it around in there to see if there's any tears or anything. But hopefully it's nothing too bad. It's pretty sore right now, but maybe in a couple of weeks or so, once we get by this series, I'll be in there for the next one.
I've been watching you around the dressing room area here in Vancouver, and you seem to be in considerable pain.
Well, it is. Usually the second, after something like this, the second and third days are usually the worst days for pain. And once that gets by, you can kind of loosen it up a bit. And maybe if I was forward or something, I could play. Who knows? But it's unfortunate when you play goal that you have to be very flexible and very agile. And the way Gary Bromley's playing right now, what's the use of playing a goalie at 80% when you've got a guy in there that's doing a job 120%?
Yeah, what can you say about the job that Gary Bromley has done? He came in and relieved you last night, stone cold. And I know that's tough under normal circumstances, but in a playoff game, it's got to be even tougher.
Well, what can you say about it? He's just done everything for us. Before the season was over, he got us in the playoffs, and then he comes in last night when a very, very critical situation that I didn't want to leave the game, and I definitely didn't want to leave the game in the middle of the period, because that's when you're playing goal, that is the toughest part, to come in right off the bench in the middle of the period. But at least if you get maybe a 5 or 10 minutes to concentrate and stretch out a bit, you can come in and do it. And Bonesy did the job, and he's continuing on right now tonight, and hopefully he's got 20 more minutes to keep us in there, and we might get a lucky one on him.
Which of the Buffalo forwards gives you the most trouble?
Well, definitely Richard Martin, because it seems that he's you have to respect the shot, and he has this hockey sense to, if you're overacting on his shot, then he'll walk around you, or else he'll pass the puck, and you just can't really figure him out. Perreault is almost the same, but I think that Martin can shoot the puck a bit harder than Perreault, so you don't have to really watch for the shot that much.
Very quickly, Glenn, what's going to happen in the third period?
Well, Vancouver Canucks will get one, and the Bones will come through with another remarkable job, and off we go to Philadelphia.
Glenn Hanlon, the Molson Cup winner for the Vancouver Canucks this past season. And speaking of the Molson Cup, Morris Lutwich, the Molson Cup winner in Winnipeg, will be coming up next. Stanley Cup 1980 continues in a moment.
Putting in more gas and putting out more money? Maybe your car needs a tune-up with fresh Champion spark plugs. They can improve fuel economy. It's like getting more gas in your tank and more money in your bank. Fill her up with fresh Champions.
The Mach 2 by Arrow. A tapered shirt that fits you perfectly, because only the Mach 2 is tailored to the contours of your body, with a dart here and here, has sleeves the length you choose, and if you wish, a patented marked collar, the only collar shaped to fit the cone of your neck. That's the Mach 2, the perfect tapered shirt. Fittingly, made only by Arrow.
Maybe someday, all women's watches will be made with the look of fine jewelry and the incredible accuracy of the new Lady Seiko quartz collection. Maybe someday, all women's watches will have beautiful textures and dials and never need winding on your wrist or in your jewelry box. Today, these slim, elegant quartz watches are made by Seiko. Maybe someday, all watches will be made this way.
With us now here in Vancouver is Morris Lukowich of the Winnipeg Jets, the Molson Cup winner in Winnipeg this past season. And Morris, what we've asked you to do for us tonight in this series here in Vancouver is to take a look at some of the forwards and analyze some of the lines. And right off the bat, Vancouver does not have the high-scoring lines that Buffalo has. Vancouver's lines, and especially the one that you looked at, are basically hard-working lines.
Yeah, that's what, well, I tried to take a look at that this period, like Buffalo has a couple of real smoothies on their team, while Vancouver, they grind it out all the time. And it was a tough period because it wasn't a good period for the forwards. It was strictly a defensive period with only one goal scored.
Well, the first line that you want to look at is the Brent Ashton, Ole Brassard, and Gary Lupul line, which is really Harry Neal's kind of hockey players because they go in the corners and they muck and they hard-working all the time.
Yeah, I think this line, like, it was a period where it was very scrambly, and in this one instance, Vancouver managed to get a little bit of pressure and sustain the pressure. Like here, Buffalo just, they dumped it out, and Vancouver manages to bring it in. Like, this is the one type of forward that they have in the league is the fellow that just grinds it out. They come in and they make a play, and actually Lupul makes, or it's Brasso here, makes a nice play into Ashton, and it just goes wide of the net. But all they do is they just keep plugging away at it, and they just keep hitting guys, and they had the pressure in Buffalo's end for about a 20-second span. We don't get to catch it all either here, but like Ashton hits that fellow there, and he's still got the puck. He's not quite, you know, it wasn't very smooth, but they had the pressure on there. Well, here we get a look at Gill. He comes from behind the net and throws a couple flashing moves on the way down.
What can you say about one of the best forwards in the National Hockey League, certainly in the past 10 years? He has it all.
Oh, he does. But tonight, Vancouver is really, they managed to keep this line shut down. As he comes up the ice here, you can see the way he's handling the puck. He's tremendously smooth. And he has the defenseman beat. If it just gets underneath the stick, he's right in. It's just another example of the way he can move. The defenseman actually made a super play to stop him.
You know, Gilbert Perreault and Richard Martin get most of the publicity for the Buffalo Sabres, but they have three other pretty good hockey players out there on the line, McKegney, Guerin, Smith. How about a comment on that line?
That line, it just totally hurt us this year. I think Gary ended up with 8 goals against us, and McKegney got 3 or 4. They play very well together, and I think tonight Danny Gear's been thrown off his game quite a bit. He's been spending the whole night fighting with Schmiel instead of trying to score goals, and I think he's lost concentration tonight, and that's the reason that I have to agree with Howie. You know, he isn't playing very good tonight. It's because he's lost his concentration.
Back to Vancouver, Schmiel, Gradin, and Fraser. Comment on that line.
All year long, I was really impressed with the way Stan Schmiel played, and Thomas Gradin, I was always mad at him because he always had the puck all the time. Both of them are excellent hockey players. I think Fraser fits in well because he just goes in the corner and gets the puck out for those guys.
A lot of people suggest that one of the reasons why the Buffalo Sabres could be favored to go all the way this year is because of their depth at the forward position. Agree or disagree?
Well, that's for sure. Like, I didn't get to give a shot here of Craig Ramsey. Like, every one of those guys, they know what their job is. They know what their position is. Like Luce, Ramsey, they know that if they can get a goal, it's just that much more of a plus. Otherwise, they're just going to make sure the other team doesn't score. They'll never get caught on the opposite side of the play, on the offensive side. They're always making sure that they're back in front of their man. They're going to be able to pick up. They're going to make sure they're not going to get a goal scored against them. They're going to leave the rest of the work to Perreault and Martin.
Morris, I know you'd sooner be playing in the playoffs than talking about them.
Yeah, that's for sure. I watched the game last night in Hartford and then this game tonight, and I miss it so much. Next year, we're going to do anything to get into it.
Morris Lukowicz, the Molson Cup winner with the Winnipeg Jets. We'll be back in a couple of minutes with Bay Pratt on highlights from that second period of play. We'll return with the Stanley Cup playoffs in just a moment.
When your rock is off its rocks, or you just lost your socks, stick with the pages. When you're going down to sea, when you can't find your key, stick with the pages. You can mend a broken heart so it doesn't come apart. If your house has had enough, if you're building new stuff, stick with the pages. It sticks for ages, and the pages will stick with you. Yeah.
Why don't we discuss it over beer? Beer.
You gotta have heart. Miles and miles and miles of heart. If you're gonna brew a beer with great taste, there's only one place to start. Molson Light has got heart. Heart. You gotta have taste. You gotta have taste to put the smile upon your face. Smile on your face when people tell you light beer is in. That's when the grin should start. Molson Light has got. Molson Light has got. Molson Light has got heart. Heart. It's got heart. Molson Light has got heart.
Join the movement to light.
After two periods of play here in Vancouver, the Canucks and the Buffalo Sabres are tied at 1. With me now is Babe Pratt on highlights from that second period. And, Babe, the first highlight you've got is the goal, a big one for Vancouver.
Yeah, it's a goal where Schneps does most of the work on it. Sove has to make two great saves. He makes one off of Rhoda, and then he makes another one off of Bowler, and then Rhoda, the old backhand, the obsolete. Here you'll see Schneps carrying it in, drops it over, and Rhoda makes it beautiful on the short side. Sove makes the save. Schneps goes around the net, makes the play out. Look at Bowler, it's a little too close in. Backhand comes out, and Rhoda puts it in. Puck comes out, he puts it in on the backhand. You know, it's an obsolete thing, this backhand shot in today's hockey. But the guys that can use it still score the goals by it. You know, the last great backhand shot we had in the NHL was Gene Beliveau. And we never see anybody pull over and let them go like he does. And yet, anytime a man can use it, it's the greatest asset in the world in today's hockey is that backhand.
I talked to Glenn Hanlon a few moments ago, and he was amazed at the way Gary Bromley was playing. And I know you've been saying all along that if he's hot, he could be the difference.
Well, he's the guy. He's the key. You know, the Buffalo club come at you. They're fast. They come at you. They're a terrific offensive club. And the Canucks are grinders. They grind everything out, you know. They do everything through hard work. You know, they never had anybody up around the 100-point in scoring like Gare. You've got Perreault, you've got Martin, and fantastic forwards, these guys. And you got Sealing that can put the puck in the net. You got Smith, McKegney. They got all kinds of people where Vancouver, all season long, they've won games through hard work and grinding it out.
Let's take a look at that highlight. Bromley in action against Gilbert Perreault.
There's McCarthy. You see, or Schmiel. I mean, Schmiel could have dumped that puck into the corner. He gets it to Schoenfeld. Schoenfeld pulls up. Now you see Perot busting for the net. You see him coming in here, takes the pass. Bromley slides into him, smothers the puck. This is just another great play by Bromley. And, of course, that Perot is so quick. This is what I'm saying about those Buffalo forwards. Martin's the same way. They bust in there quick and pick off those passes, and they can score.
They sure can. Dave Pratt, thank you very much for your comments. Now let's join Jim Robson. Jim?
A look at the ice here at the Pacific Coliseum from the north end, and there's the second period summary. Darcy Rota's goal, his second of the series, his sixth in Stanley Cup play. Bolderev and Snepst drew assists early in the second period. There's Gary Bromley, who faced those 9 Buffalo shots in the second period. Bob Sauve, who faced 10 Vancouver shots. The shots are 20-17 overall in Buffalo's favor.
Should the Vancouver Canucks win this game, the two clubs will return to Buffalo for a game that would be seen at, in British Columbia, 5 o'clock, in Eastern Canada, 8 o'clock on Monday evening. And the Vancouver Canucks have gotten reservations. Harry Neal had those made to leave here at 9:15 tomorrow morning, go to Toronto, and then go by bus on into Buffalo. And they figure that if they have to play that 5th game, which would be 5 in the 7 nights and 2 transcontinental trips, they might be able to stand it better than Buffalo.
The Sabres are now playing their 7th game in 10 nights as they finished with a string of games, but when they complain about travel, and Scotty Bowman was a little concerned about fatigue and travel across the continent, but Scotty, Vancouver lives with that because of geography. There's many times they have to travel and come back home and play 2 games. Is that right? You travel, you know. You can't change the map around. And it's a short road trip from many eastern cities to other eastern cities, but there's not many short road trips out of Vancouver. And they just have to live with it. A legitimate excuse, I guess you could say. Dudley at his own line with the puck. It's a 1-1 tie as we're in the 3rd period. Game 4. Vancouver has to win it to stay alive. Buffalo leading the series 2-1. Snepst's pass intercepted. Richie Dunn's shot went high. Puck bouncing to the corner. In goes Craig Ramsey. Came back near the line. Dunn had it knocked down by Snepst. It went out of the air with a high stick, and the play is stopped by referee Ron Hogarth.
There could well be a game someplace still on Monday night, perhaps in Buffalo or New York or someplace like that. If there is one, it will be seen on Hockey Night in Canada. If everything is over and there is no game on Monday night, there will be a Montreal Canadian game against somebody on Wednesday night. From the Montreal Forum, the Canadians, who ended up 3rd overall behind Philadelphia, just behind this Buffalo club, would be playing somebody. At the moment, Montreal is in the next round. The Canadians are there. 3 straight. Canucks are hanging on.
In the Vancouver zone, the puck came loose, recovered by Andre Savard, shot by Playfair. Oh, it dribbled right in behind Bromley, but it stayed out. He didn't know where it went. It went off him. Here's a shot by Van Boxmeer, just went wide. Kurt Fraser hit by Van Boxmeer. Hughes got the puck ahead to Gradin, who dumped it out. Smeal racing after the puck. Mike Ramsey gets to it. Plays it across to Lindy Ruff, who's been used sparingly. His pass deflects over to John Hughes of Vancouver. Dumping it in. Smeal's racing in after. Oh, it came off the glass. Sauve was out to lunch, but there was no one near the puck. Those tricky petitions on the glass back of the goal. There was no one around to get the puck. An offside indicated, but the play continues as the Canucks bring out the puck. Gradin pushing it in. Picked off by Mike Ramsey, the fine rookie from Minnesota and the U.S. Olympic team. And the puck is flipped over the glass and out of play.
Well, I'd like to suggest that maybe I do a little second guessing here, fellas. Well, in a minute.
Okay. Howie from the Pacific Coliseum in Vancouver. This is Stanley Cup 80.
If you think the thrill's gone out of driving, experience the 1980 Mercury Capri RS. Here's a car that really brings out the driver in you. 4 on the floor is standard. So's the rack and pinion steering and the great fuel economy. Capri, available with 4, 6, or V8, even a turbocharged 4-cylinder engine. Mercury Capri, designed with one thing in mind, to bring out the driver in you. At the sign of the cat.
Ted Reynolds along with Howie Meeker and Jim Robson at the Pacific Coliseum as the linesmen get between a couple of players or saying nasty things to each other.
A shot just went off the goalpost. Howie Bromley was fortunate there.
He got a bit of it on his left shoulder, out the goalpost and out behind him, and nobody there waiting to put it in.
And that could have been a go-ahead goal for Buffalo, but it's still a 1-1 tie. Sauvé controls the puck for Schoenfeld. Sauvé and Bromley in a duel as Dave Logan had trouble getting the puck and he lost it to Perreault. Lindgren checking Perreault. Perreault shoots. He scores! Gilbert Perreault! And it's 2-1 Buffalo.
You know, you talk about Martin's shot. Ted Perreault can let go a bullet, Howie.
Well, you talk about all our college teams and everything else saying we don't want any stars, we want an average bunch of hard-working hockey players. Well, this is what talent does for you. This is what the stars do. When you have a game going like you have tonight, it's got to be a Perreault, a Martin, or a Sealing, or a Gare get that goal. If you have them, the chances are 70-30 you're going to win. If you don't have them, you got to be lucky. Watch this shot. Bromley's out far enough, but it had such velocity and up high to his right side. I don't think he could have stopped it if he'd have had a net.
Dave Logan lost the puck at the Buffalo line, and there went Perreault with an unassisted goal at 2:04. It's 2-1 Buffalo. A good solid check along the boards by Lindgren on Sealing as the puck came around to Lupul. Flips it out to center ice. Schoenfeld chasing it. Odlinson goes and he grabs Dunn. Got away with it there as Odlinson hauled Dunn to the ice with an interference. Lindgren back to get the puck. Early in the third period, it's 2-1 Buffalo. That's the way the series stands. Larry Playfair to the puck. To McKegney, ran into Butler. Puck goes to Mano. Left wing pass for Darcy Rhoda. Shoots it. Easily stopped by Sauvé, seeing it all the way. Schoenfeld back of the net, checked by Balderith. Gare clears it to center. McKegney racing after it, and Mano with a great skating gets the puck, and here he goes. Bob Mano. Wound up losing, but Butler got the puck. It's deflected by Rhoda. Stopped by Sauvé on a slow deflection. This is Gare trying to split the defense. Coming in on Smith. Danny Gare shooting, and it deflects off Smith. Next took Gare to the boards. Puck comes around to Butler. Now to Balderith. On his left is Rhoda. Taking the pass. Playfair goes to check him. Balderith in front. Balderith couldn't get the puck. Knocked down in front of the net. Close call. It's still 2-1. Puck is cleared down the ice. As Rhoda and McKegney bump together back of the play. Bob Mano starting another rush. A lot of action left. 16-14 left in regulation time. Smeal to the puck. Shot it behind the net. It came off the inboards. Craig Ramsey steers it for Dudley. Couldn't get to it. Don Luce took it off his skate. Dumps it in the Canuck zone. Might be icing. McCarthy gets to the puck. Icing called on Buffalo. Tonight's Stanley Cup playoff game is coming to you from Vancouver.
If you were designing your own lawn tractor, you wouldn't cut corners. You'd design it to last with more features than bargain machines. Rugged, precision-engineered components, giant mowing capacity with bagging option, and a safe, comfortable ride. You'd design a John Deere 108 or 111. A lot more machine for your money. John Deere Lawn and Garden Tractors with full dealer servicing. Remember, nothing runs like a Deere.
Other games tonight, Pittsburgh confounding all the experts, now up 3-0 over Boston. Lonsbury has the first two, and the Rangers seem to have theirs going now. They are ahead of Atlanta, and that's in the third, 4-1.
A Ranger win there would end that series. The other series is tied at 1 game apiece. They'll play their fourth game tomorrow in Pittsburgh. Smeal to Gradine. Now this is Dunn with the puck. Richie Dunn moving it into the Vancouver zone. Bromley stops it at the side of the goal. Kevin McCarthy turning with the puck. The score is 2-1 Buffalo. Gradine tips it to Kurt Fraser. Lost control at center ice. Puck slides in the Vancouver zone. Icing waved off. McCarthy back for the puck. Put it on the boards for Hughes. Takes a look and feeds it ahead to Fraser. Coming out with Smeal. Smeal can't reach the hard pass. Keep working for the puck. Comes off the boards to Gradine, who's been very ineffective tonight. Not like Gradine, who's had a fine season in Vancouver with 75 points on the year. Now Logan at center with the puck. Shooting it in. Bill Height turning with the puck. Bradeen goes into forecheck. Height coming away from him along the boards. Oh, he misses a check from Ashton. And the puck goes into the Vancouver zone. Logan turns with it there. So Lucal from center ice. Trying to go through the middle. Tripped up. Rossar shoots. It's blocked. Puck is covered up by Lindy Rupp down on the ice.
Young Rupp down there coddling the puck is just a youngster, 19 years of age. The Vancouver Canucks playing tonight without their Tiger Williams. Harry Neal missing him desperately, too, as he looks on from behind the bench with his team now down 2-1. Williams suspended by the league today after an altercation last night.
Dave Logan's shot went high. Lars Lindgren, playing with a bad wrist, can't get much on his shot. Knows he's not slapping it that much. His wrist shot went high. This is Andre Savard or Lindy Rupp, too far ahead. Rupp, normally a defenseman, but he's played quite a bit on the forward line in his rookie season. He's got a chance here in front. A backhander. Bromley stopped it. Now he covers it up at the side of the goal as Logan high sticks with Schoenfeld. Rupp arrives. And everybody arrives.
Ruff's backhand shot reminded me of mine. It wouldn't break a pane of glass.
Did you hear that, folks? Howie Meeker says his backhand would not break a pane of glass.
And the other part of it is I couldn't put it in the ocean off the wharf.
That Rupp kid is big, Jim. He's over 6 feet, 195 pounds. He's from where's the name of that place in Alberta?
Everybody knows that. Warburg. North of Edmonton. Of course, there's a lot north of Edmonton. And here's his chance to score.
Well, he'll come around. I just had to let his shot go, and it didn't scare Bromley, I'll tell you.
Logan mixing it up there as Rupp arrives. He was mixing it up with Schoenfeld initially. Well, the penalties have slowed down anyway. The Vancouver Club has had 8 minor penalties. Buffalo's had 7. There have been none in the third period. Started out very rough with a lot of tension early in the game after the Bowman-Williams incident last night. Steps had trouble and lost the puck. Rick Martin clears it in. Mano takes over. Perreault goes in to check him. He'll give him trouble. Mano turns neatly away with the puck to Odlinson. Stick handling in his own zone. Odlinson trying to get it to Fraser. Odlinson was out there for a face-off. He goes to the bench now. Gradine comes back to center. Smeal and Fraser. Perreault puts it off the board. Fraser turning with the puck. Back to Mano. Mano to Stan Smeal. Easily blocked by Mike Ramsey of Buffalo. Failed to get by Smeal, who rolled it in. Playfair goes to the puck. Buffalo 2, Vancouver 1. 13:24 left in regulation time. Buffalo leads the series 2-1. Mano starting a rush to Fraser, to Smeal, coming in with Bradeen on the right. They're offside. Bradeen went in too soon. This is Stanley Cup 80 from the Pacific Coliseum.
Stanley salutes the doghouse Tom Lynch built. Ron Nash's Entertainment Center. Stanley salutes this whole new generation who enjoy doing things with their own 2 hands. They know that to do things right, you need the right tools, and that means Stanley.
Stanley, we want to help you do things right.
Great barbecue center, Pat and Jack Schreiber. Stanley Tools, Hardware, and Drapery Hardware.
We want to help you do things right.
Everybody's here to watch this game. I'm Ted Reynolds along with Howie Meeker and Jim Robson. There's a face-off just outside the Buffalo blue line.
The clock shows 13 minutes and 8 seconds left in the game. Darcy Rhoda drives the puck into Sabre territory. Sauvé stops it back of the net for Height. Puts it around on the board. It comes to McCarthy. And shot right on. Sauvé made a good save. Partially screened, but came up with the puck. Lindy Rupp getting more ice time in this third period. Scotty Bowman trying to find some fresh legs in that Buffalo lineup. Both these teams are pretty tired. Here's a penalty to Van Boxmeer, tripping Butler behind the play. A foolish penalty. The puck is centered. Sauvé covered it up. Now Van Boxmeer will get the penalty, and he looked over his shoulder after. He knew he'd done it, but it was a bad penalty, and Savard was dumped there in front of the net. Canucks will have a power play now.
Unusual for a fellow of Van Boxmeer's moxie to take a silly penalty like that in the third period.
With the score, Buffalo 2, Vancouver 1. This is Stanley Cup 80.
The people who brought you the light bulb proudly present the CGE Bright Stick fluorescent lamp. Anywhere you need light, you can stick a bright stick. Nothing to it. Anyone can stick a bright stick. Stick it up and screw it on. No wiring, it's quickly done. Most anywhere, most anyone can stick a bright stick. The Bright Stick. More progress for people from Canadian General Electric.
Crucial now as Van Boxmeer has gone at 7:24, 2 minutes for hooking. Ivan Boldarev is out to take the face-off for the Canucks. To the left for Sauvé.
Smil digs out the puck on the boards. Back to Mano at the point. Takes a shot. Over to Brassard. Bad pass, but he got to it. Put it behind the net. Sauvé missed it. Boldarev from the corner. Berdeen's in front of the net. Takes quite a beating there. Not afraid to go there, but he's not big. Mano shoots in the crowd and kicks just outside the post off a couple of legs in front. Boldarev. Smil's now in front. That's the guy who should be there with his stocky size. Battle for the puck on the boards. Smil back of the net for it. To the point to Brassard. Take the shot that's blocked. Chipped in by Brassard. Took it off of the stick of Don Luce. Berdeen to Mano. To Berdeen. Smil in front of the net being worked over by Height. Boldarev. To Mano. To Boldarev. To Mano. To Boldarev. Shoot. It's a puck off the leg in front. Schoenfeld golfed at it. Mano kept it in. Mano shoots. Knocked down by Height's hand. That hurt him. But he stopped it. Schoenfeld went on the board by Berdeen. And there's Billy Height knowing there's a lot of pressure on him.
They listened to you, Jim, and they got Smil in front of that net. And, of course, he's very effective in there. He had a couple of the Buffalo defensemen worrying about him, and it was very, very close. Sauvé, like any good goaltender, is good, and he's lucky at the same time. And Mano has something to say.
Well, I'll tell you, you just want to watch this Bill in front of the net. Bill Height put the clutch on Smil. He's got to be Scotty Bowman's most valuable defenseman because anytime he's in trouble on offense and particularly defense, out-trots Mr. Height. And I would say, folks, he probably has the least physical skills of any person playing defense in the National Hockey League. But is he some kind of defenseman? He's always got a stick in the way, a foot in the way. Something gets in the way. He never tries to overtax his talent either. Just a great, great hockey player.
In that last series, he had his hand in the way, and I think he hurt his hand as Height has gone to the bench, and Frankie Christie, the veteran trainer, is checking him over there, and Height took one on the hand, but of course he'll be back in action. You can count on that. 11:28 left in the game, 50 seconds left in the favor penalty. Lupo from behind the net, tried to center it. Loose puck in front. Back to Lindgren. Lindgren holds the puck. Over to Mano. Winding up. Mano at the blue line. Over to Rona. He shoots. Blocked. Rhoda back to Mano. Mano to Rhoda. 30 seconds left in the power play. Rhoda flips it out. Mano really tired. Went to the ice. Lindgren back to get the puck. It goes right to Don Luce. That's at the end of the Canuck pressure on the power play. Now they got to get that puck and go with it. 14 seconds left in the penalty. Lindgren dumps it in. McCarthy goes in after it. Schoenfeld covers it up with McCarthy. They stop the play.
Well, there are times you sit back and look at the situation on the ice. You wonder now whatever caused the coach to do that. And I'm thinking about Lindgren, who was pretty good on the point, but with the sore wrist, his shot just couldn't break a pane of glass. And no time in the world to have him out there. There's a little bit of interference in front of the net. Sauvé's usually pretty good with that stick. He doesn't let you get away with it.
That's Kevin McCarthy in front of the net, and that's not working him over. It's a tough, hard game.
It's been an excellent hockey game. It's too bad that there's not 18,000 Vancouver fans watching it. It's been great entertainment.
That's Van Boxmeer at the penalty box. He only has 6 seconds left in his penalty. A good, hard-hitting playoff hockey game. There will be a loser, and there will be a winner. And there might be a fifth game Monday in Buffalo, or the Sabres will play next Wednesday. And the Canucks will be through. We'll see what happens in the last 10:28 of the game. Buffalo back at full strength. This is Butler. Hook. No penalty. Logan Gamble. Logan from behind the net. Logan with the puck. In the corner. Put it in front. Augustin shoots. playing a lot of hockey, 4 games in 5 nights, a lot of travel, but what great effort.
Well, Butler, who's played just tremendous since coming here from Toronto Maple Leafs, went through the middle and was hooked, and he wasn't quite good enough actor. I think if he'd have taken the dive, he might have called the penalty, but certainly Sauvé stood up, and that's the key to playing this crazy position of goal. On this shot here, look at him stand up, he's screened, but makes the save. I just think he's a great little goaltender.
Logan took a little bit of a reefing in there as General Manager, Vice President Jake Milford looks on with a worried look at this thing, but Logan kept his cool and didn't try and go back at him. They certainly don't want a penalty here. They want a goal or 2 or 3.
10-12 left in the game. That is in regulation time. Buffalo 2, Vancouver 1. One Canuck dressed for this game. Rob Tudor has not been on the ice. Up from Dallas late in the season. Loose puck in the Vancouver zone. McKechnie and Mano racing to it. Bromley steered it to the corner. Mano taken out by McKechnie. Puck came loose in front. This is Kurt Fraser moving in on Mike Ramsey. Ramsey stayed with him for a while. Fraser centered it. Oh, it went off the leg in front. Schmiel tried to dig out the puck. He's knocked down. Puck is cleared, not out. Mano kept it in. His pass bouncing around. Mike Ramsey rushing out. Snep comes up with the puck. You really have to admire these teams' effort here tonight. They played 2 in Buffalo, traveled across the country, played 2 more in 2 nights here, and they've really put out an effort. Kevin McCarthy shooting it in front. Neal swung at it, but it didn't get through to him as he tried to first time it. McCarthy to Hughes, and Vancouver's carrying the play right now. The Buffalo leads 2-1. Schoenfeld puts it around at the boards to the ceiling. This is Perreault and Martin coming in on McCarthy. Martin centering it. It's blocked by McCarthy. Martin holds the puck to Perreault. He shoots and he missed the net. Schmiel chips it off the boards. Not out. Schmiel with the puck again. To Hughes. It's still in the Vancouver zone. Banked around on the boards. Kevin McCarthy trying to come out. Martin back with Perreault. Martin controlling the puck at center. Hughes put it off the board. Keeps fighting for it. Goes loose at the line. Schmiel goes in after with Schoenfeld. Battling for the puck. Boudin goes in to try and dig it up. Schoenfeld covering it up and on the boards while down on the ice. Gets the stoppage in play with 8:19 left.
And everybody gets into it again there. Big Schoenfeld. And there could be penalties in this. Schoenfeld's up on his feet now. We'll have to wait and see.
Stanley Cup 80 will continue in a moment.
This is the Schick Ultrex, the ultimate razor.
Does it have a pivoting head?
Sure does. This Ultrex pivoting head keeps the twin blades at just the right cutting angle.
Bet the twin blades clog up.
No way, because only Ultrex has this push-button cleaner to push soap and stubble out from between the blades.
So the Ultrex blades stay clear and clean for close, smooth shaves like never before.
Right. That's why we call Schick Ultrex the ultimate razor.
Well, nothing came of it. There have been no penalties assessed, and both clubs making player changes. 8 minutes, 19 seconds left in the game. Buffalo in front 2-1 on Perreault's goal in this third period that broke the 1-1 tie. Face-off will be to Sauvé's left. Sauvé's been very steady. We are having technical difficulties, power problems here in Western Canada right at the moment. So if you have a glimmering picture, a fading picture, or a picture that's doing funny things, don't adjust your set.
My voice is getting a little hoarse, too. You can't do any adjustment for that. The score is 2-1 Buffalo with 8:05 left in regulation time. Rhoda takes a shot. Oh, and over the net. Bounces around to John Van Boxmeer. Now to Savard. Coming in on Lindgren. Alone in front is Lindy Ruff, but they can't get him the puck. Savard still getting control. Try to put it in front. Lindy Ruff was all alone going to the front of the net. But Savard didn't see him in time. Puck is shot into Vancouver territory. Bromley stops it at the side of the goal. Fine goaltending tonight by Bromley and Sauvé in the Vancouver zone. Lindgren after the puck with Van Boxmeer, bumping back at the goal. It's still back of the net. Control by Boldrin. His pass intercepted. Backhanded by Russ, stopped by Bromley. Behind the net, Savard coming around in front. Savard with the puck, centering it. A scramble in front of Bromley. A shot, he stopped it. Where's the puck? There it is, it's still in play. And it's dug out by Darcy Rhoda. To Odlinson. Dumping it in. Rhoda goes after with Playfair. Came to the line and out. Gary Lupel at center with the puck. Putting it in, racing it after it. Against Mike Ramsey. Lupel keeps digging. Odlinson to the point to Snep. To Odlinson. Back to Snep. Takes the shot. Blocked in front. Lupel digging for the puck. It's neatly corralled by Mike Ramsey. To Craig Ramsey at center. Blasted there. 6:40 left. 2-1 Buffalo. Play in the Sabre zone. Odlinson, a high stick there. No penalty. Now the play is stopped. Odlinson really ran Craig Ramsey down on the ice.
Well, it's not often you see Odlinson check that tough. He usually checks but keeps the stick down, and I'm quite surprised that he got the stick up as high as he did.
This Craig Ramsey looks pretty groggy. Oh, he's hurt. He was high stick there by Odlinson, although no penalty was called on the play. Odlinson hit him high. This Ramsey's been a key Buffalo player since he came into the league as a second-round draft choice in 1971. There's Odlinson, who has been involved in a few hard-nosed incidents over the year. He's had 4 facial fractures of his own.
He was really not expected to play very much, perhaps only with the exception of face-offs when they came home after he was injured in Buffalo. But he got up pretty high on the Buffalo player there.
Very high.
He didn't sit on him, though, after he was down, which is...
was a gentle elbow.
Yeah,
well, nothing with the stick it up. Well,
there are chaps who would have just sat right down on his face there after they got him down.
I thought the stick was up a little, Howie.
Didn't make contact, though.
Ramsey, I think, is going to be all right, which is the important thing.
Well, regardless of what the crowd thinks, I just think it's been a tremendous hockey game, and the official who's handling it out there has done a super job.
I will agree with that. Ron Hogarth, in the first couple of minutes, there was great tension here, and it took a strong job of officiating right off the start, and that's what he provided. It's only his 6th year as an NHL official, which isn't long by NHL official standards, but he's done a fine job.
Well, last night, the game took almost 3 hours to complete, and that was in regulation time without overtime. They're zipping along here at a pretty good clip tonight. The first 2 periods went by well. For the Vancouver Canucks, if this does nothing else, it gives Harold Schneps a chance to get his breath. He's hardly been off the ice since the start of the second period. He's been playing awfully well.
Well, we mentioned a moment ago Jake Milford looking at it, and he wasn't too happy, but certainly I don't think he expected to win this series, maybe hoped. But he has to be happy about Fraser, Lupel, Ashton, Mano, and Hanlon for next year, and the trade with Butler, Williams, Smeel, and Gerdine. They're going to have a much improved hockey club here in Vancouver next year.
6:32 left in regulation time. The Sabres leading 2-1. Rick Martin in the first period, Gilbert Perreault in the third. The second period goal by Vancouver's Darcy Rhoda. Little fencing off the face-off. Well, they'll line up again. Odlinson's waved out of the circle.
I can't understand why they don't say stand the way you're supposed to stand as it's stated in the rule book. If you don't, it's a 2-minute penalty. Look at there, 2 illegal guys. And again.
Scooped off the boards, not out. Now it comes out to center. Schneps picks it up. McKechnie hustles after him. Gare gets the puck. Coming in with Smith. Gare shoots. It's blocked by Schneps. The puck went to the corner. Gare after it there. Put it behind the net. Lupel goes to the corner after it. Took a check from McKechnie, but got the puck to Ashton. To Odlinson. Now to Schneps. Coming in with Ashton. Schneps to Ashton. Takes a shot that's blocked. And this young Mike Ramsey is coming up with a solid game for the Sabres. Sauvé comes out and clears the puck ahead to Gare. This is McKechnie coming in on Mano. Mano stays with him and then winds up with the puck. To Ashton. Rink wide, a gambling pass to Schneps. Chased by Perreault. Back to Mano as the teams change on the move. 5:40 left. 2-1 Buffalo and a good one. Game 4 of the series, the Sabres lead 2-1. Stan Smeel just overskates the puck in the slot. He was looking up to Gerdine coming in with him. Schoenfeld back of the net. Checked by Brassler. A lot of line juggling going on. The combinations are changing. Lindgren to Brasser. Out there with Berdine and Smeal. The pass to Smeal. He shoots. Oh, Sylvie out of position. But the shot dribbled wide as Sylvie had lost his balance. Hasn't been out of position like that much all night. Was fortunate. The shot rolled wide.
One of the very few times you'll ever see Sauvé, or that Harry Neal will see Sauvé lose his balance. Unfortunately for the Buffalo goaltender, there you see, he just lost it. And that puck, I think it did come off his left glove.
It looked like he was in a square dance.
Yeah, that's what they do over at Vancouver Island on a Saturday night of how he's done at the hockey game.
My son and his wife had baby girl today, so we'll have a little barn dance after I get home midnight tonight.
Oh, Grandpa.
Grandpa.
Atta boy, Grandpa. Congratulations. Bob Sauvé, Saint-Geneviève, Quebec. And he's played a strong game for Buffalo. The backup is Don Edwards. Vancouver's backup, as you listen and hear the action of the crowd and see their rhythmic applause, there's Sauvé. And Vancouver's backup is young Ken Ellicott up from Dallas because of the injury to Hanlon.
Gentlemen, after hearing that, I'm not sure I'm in the Vancouver rink. That's just not the Vancouver fans. Folks, it's got to be a great, great hockey game to get them going like that.
And normally it's the quietest rink in the league. Play in Buffalo territory. Craig Ramsey back in action out there after taking that hit from Odlinson. Battle for the puck along the boards. Four of them jam in and cover it up. Now there's 4:52 left.
This referee's got to be getting a little weary. A tired birthday for him. He was the fellow that worked that Edmonton double overtime thing last night where Philadelphia eliminated Edmonton, Hogarth, and now he's got to come down here. And this one, he's not out of the woods as far as overtime is concerned because there's 4:52 left, and the play about the last 3 or 4 minutes has all been up in Scotty Bowman's end of the rink, and Scotty knows it. He better chew a little more ice, I guess.
Well, he looks in full command at the bench. As Don Luce and Ivan Boldarev line up. There's Boldarev motioning, and there's Don Luce. Very steady professional over his NHL career. The draw came to McCarthy, right on with his shot, and Sauvé standing up blocked the shot by Kevin McCarthy, and he got good wood on it. Boldarev to McCarthy. That could have been the tie and goal, but Sauvé kicked it out. Butler pokes the puck in the Buffalo zone. 4:34 left in this regulation time, and they're offside at the Buffalo blue line. Live from Vancouver, the Stanley Cup playoff.
Never underestimate the Wolf. For when you think you know his speed, he'll show you more. When you think you know his power, he'll find power to spare. When you think you know him well, he'll surprise you. The Wolf, fast, powerful, confident, deceptive. Never underestimate an Evinrude. Any Evinrude.
That's the score, and 4:32 remain. Don Luce out there. He's the calmest looking man on the ice and gets the face-off from Boldarev.
Bob Mano back with the puck for Schneps to Mano. 4:22 left. With Butler. Steered it to center. Schoenfeld taps it off the boards to Craig Ramsey, who's out there with Luce and Dudley. Mano dumping the puck out. Schoenfeld picks it up. He's on defense with Richie Dunn. Now the Sabres make a change in their defense. And their forwards as they pour off the bench. 4 minutes left in regulation time as Boldarev steers it to Snep. Lost it at center. It's recovered by Butler, who puts it in. Goes to the bench. Loose puck at center. Mano goes in to pick it up. Dumping it in. Smeal hustling into forecheck. Goes in against Dunn on the board. Smeal and Dunn fighting for the puck. Look at Smeal with his arms down and good strength after that puck. As Dunn pinned him on the board, but couldn't stop him from playing the puck. And now they cover it up. And they got to be fired.
Jim, in this period, there have been 11 face-offs in the Buffalo end, 2 in the Vancouver end. Yet the score is 2-1 on one great individual effort. As we look down at a couple of heavy-breathing players. Well, they're all heavy-breathing down there. There's Tiger Williams sitting with Mr. Frank Griffiths, the president of the Vancouver Canucks. Tiger sitting out his suspension. And I guess this is a timeout, is it?
Looks like it, and the crowd from Thunder Bay is here, all the way from Thunder Bay, and they're seeing a good one. And a timeout has been called, I believe, by the Buffalo Sabres. It is because their goaltender has gone to the bench. The other team's goaltender cannot. Although we had a game this season in Quebec when the goaltender did go to the bench and cost his team a penalty.
Let's check those out-of-town scores again. Middleton has got Boston back in against Pittsburgh. And Rangers are still ahead of Atlanta.
Harry Neal doing a lot of coaching at the Vancouver bench, and Neal has never missed the playoffs in his years as a coach. Very vocal, enthusiastic, 43-year-old coach from Sarnia originally, but of course played a lot of junior hockey in Toronto.
With a great sense of humor and just great one-liners.
Oh, he's got the greatest one-liners in the league. Rick Seeley.
This youngster has tremendous talent, but in this last 2 games here in Vancouver has certainly not displayed that talent. He has soft hands. He's a good puck handler, fair skater, not a great one, but heads for holes. Head can make the plays as well as anybody. He has not played close to his potential in the 2 games here.
There's the kind of a year he had. In this game, the shots on goal are 26-23 in Buffalo's favor with 3 minutes and 37 seconds left in regulation time, and the crowd here chanting, "Go Canucks, go!" And as Howie mentioned, noisier than usual for a Vancouver crowd. Usually much quieter than that sellout crowd in Buffalo. Face off on that spot in Buffalo territory. Canucks get the draw. McCarthy to Lindgren. Take the shot. Missed the net. Sovey didn't see it, but it was off target as Sovey was screened. Craig Ramsey wins a fight for the puck and dumps it out. Sealing racing after with Lindgren. Lindgren squeezes him along the boards. Brassard got the puck, lost it. Loose from behind the net, centering it. And it's tipped away by McCarthy from in front. McCarthy fighting to get the puck. Now only Brassard gets possession. Stick handling outside his own line. Flipped it for Gradine out of his reach. 3 minutes, 5 seconds left in regulation time. Buffalo leads the game 2-1. Leads the series 2-1. A big goal by Perreault, unassisted. Has broken the tie as Mano rushes. Trying to go all the way. Can't get through. And you saw all those blue uniforms converge on Mano. Ashton dumping it in. Schoenfeld, who's played a strong game for the Sabres, clears it out. Arnolfsson scoops it in. Dunn back for the puck. Richie Dunn from behind the net. To Dudley off the boards to Gare, coming in with Smith. Smith offside as he shot the puck wide, and Smith didn't like him shooting the puck as the whistle blew.
At electric power sites in Canada, engineers from China are learning new techniques. They know Canadians have one of the most reasonably priced and reliable electric power services in the world. And like many other countries, they come to study our innovations, like pioneering extra high voltage transmission.
Well done, Canada.
Constant innovation. It's one reason Canadians enjoy one of the most reasonably priced and reliable electric power services in the world.
Ted Reynolds with Howie Meeker and Jim Robson. Pittsburgh ahead of Boston 3-1. Middleton's for Boston in the third. And Rangers would appear to have their series sewn up against Atlanta with that 4-1 lead late in the third.
The Islanders in Los Angeles in a game tonight not yet underway. And, of course, Philadelphia, Montreal, Minnesota, and Chicago advanced to the quarterfinals last night. Quarterfinals start Wednesday on Hockey Night in Canada. Larry Playfair back to get the puck. Chased behind the net by Lupul. Puck came to center ice. 2 minutes and 8 seconds left. Time so important. Lupul checked off the puck by young Mike Ramsey. Played so well. And this kid Ramsey, number 23 of the Sabres, is 19 years of age. He'll be tested here again. Lupul. Shot hit Ramsey. Ashton goes after it in the corner. Bumps into big Playfair, who nailed him on the end boards. Puck steered to center ice. Ivan Bolderev picks it up. Now to Mano, who's played an awful lot along with Sneps there in that Vancouver defense. Off the boards at the Vancouver bench. The Canucks on a rather sloppy change there. Now Sneps with the puck. Now there's a minute and 32 seconds left. Oh, a pass went behind McCarthy and Butler. Craig Ramsey scoops it. It hit Rhoda. Butler dumps it to the line. Bromley still in the nets. 1:20 left. Sneps with the puck. It's tense, it's exciting, it's a good playoff game in Vancouver tonight. Jerry Buckland, urged on by the crowd, takes it in. Bromley still in goal. The puck is in behind the net. Boulder to the corner, lost the puck on the board. Sabres come out. We're in the last minute. John Luce moving in. Try to drop it back. Lindgren blocks the pass. Hook him out. Rhoda overskates the puck. It's in behind the net. Lindgren got away with a hold there. The play goes on. There's not likely to be a penalty in this stage. Battle for the puck. It's underneath them down on the ice. The faceoff comes outside, says the referee. 41 seconds left. The Canucks will try and get the goaltender out.
I was a little surprised they didn't get him out with 1 minute and 29 seconds to go with the puck deep in the Buffalo zone. Certainly this Scotty Bowman coach team is not going to give you too many chances to have a face-off in their zone. They use the boards, keep it around the outside, never pass the puck into anyone who's center ice. It's against the boards. The angle on is equal to the angle off, and they skate into the puck and pick it up. Got to be as good as any team in the National Hockey League coming out of their own zone.
Vancouver calls a timeout. 41 seconds left in the game. They'll discuss the face-off, how to get the goaltender out, how to get the puck in and put on late pressure. After this fine effort tonight, but it might go down the drain, and it might be the end of Harry Neal's season. He's on a 3-year contract at Vancouver with a year to run. It's been rumored that he was offered an extension, but turned it down. Says, I'll do it here in 3 years, or someone else will.
Well, I think both he and Jake Milford have done a great job. They've got a great bunch of youngsters who really want to play hockey. Maybe one or two of them that give you the impression they're playing out the string, and one or two give you the impression they had rather golf tomorrow than play hockey back in Buffalo on Monday night. But that's not bad. The majority of them are young. They're comers. They're working hard. They have medium skills, maybe average skills, a lot of them. He's got a good foundation to build on, and he's a coach that should stay with him, and I would think would be with him for quite some time. Good coach.
41 seconds left. Play underway. Bromley still in the nets. Going for the bench now. Green dumps it in. Sauvé comes out to sweep it aside. Put it off the boards and out. Vancouver's goal is empty. 30 seconds to go. Snaps off the boards. It's put into the Buffalo zone. It came out again. Snep controlling it. Lost it. It's cleared in the Canuck zone. A race for it. Sealing and Mano. Sealing shoots. He scores! That'll wrap it up. The Buffalo bench celebrates. Rick Sealing hits the empty net with 19 seconds left. The Sabres have a 3-1 lead and are heading to the quarterfinals.
Well, I'll tell you, a few moments ago when discussing Sealing, I said he hadn't played up to his potential in 2 games here and that he had average wheels. I have to check that statement because he outskated Bobby Mano, and I would think that Mano had a step on him at one time, but Sealing said, hey, I'm going to get to that puck first, and when I get there, I'm going to put it in the net, and that he can do. He is a good goal scorer, has soft hands, and I would think he complements Perreault and Martin when he plays on the wing with them as much as any hockey player in the game does today.
An empty net goal by Sealing. Luce gets the assist. 19:41, the time of the goal. And the Sabres, as you see on the bench there, are very happy. They didn't want to go all the way across the continent to play another hockey game Monday and then have possibly to play again Wednesday. Now they get a few days to rest their bruises, and they've got some after this series, Howie. It's been a hard-hitting, grinding kind of series.
Well, I said to you last night, Jim, that I think Scotty Bowman has done it with mirrors. He has a defense that is by no stretch of the imagination close to being the best in the league. He has pretty good offense up front, 4 or 5 excellent skilled hockey players who can score goals. But they win the Vezina Trophy by 31 goals, and they win it on system and not too mobile, not too good puck-handling defense. And I think it's the Bowman magic, the Bowman coaching, never mind the other two. Bowman's the guy that makes his team go.
There's not many people in the building right now, but most of them are standing and applauding. I would say it's a tribute to both teams for this effort tonight. Their 4th game in 5 nights. The seconds are ticking away. There's 7 seconds left in the game and in Vancouver's season as the puck is covered up with 3 seconds left. It was far from a sellout here tonight. Lupul is still steaming over there on the boards, and the officials skate in and said, let's finish it off with 3 seconds to play. A very spirited effort by these clubs tonight, and I hope you enjoyed it. Coast to coast. There's a guy, look at him smile. He feels the pressure's off now, but what a job he's done. 1 goal against in 2 games. What a season. And he hopes he's in many more playoff games, and he could be with this Buffalo team. Luce and Lupul ready to face off with 3 seconds left on the clock. It's 3-1 Sabres. They win the series by that margin as well. There's the face-off. The end of the game. It's all over. The Sabres pour off the bench to congratulate Sauvé. There's the big celebration. The shots on goal in the third period, 7 apiece. In the game, Buffalo 27 on Bromley. Vancouver 24 on Sauvé. There's Bromley. Now you see him with the mask off. Very dejected, but he played an outstanding game. An excellent hockey game. There's Donnie Edwards, whose fine goaltending contributed to Buffalo's second-place finish overall and in this series. A win and a loss. Larry Playfair didn't play a lot tonight. Now the traditional handshake. And I think they're both very weary after that hard hitter tonight, Howie.
Well, I've seen maybe 25 hockey games this year, and that's as good as any I've seen. I certainly have to compliment the Vancouver Canucks on their ruggedness. They're very abrasive, very hard-working hockey team with talent that's going to get better, and certainly you just can't say enough about the Buffalo Sabres. Sauvé in goal was great. I'm very impressed with the way Dunn handles the puck in the point, the way Schoenfield blocks shots. Bill Hike gets everything in the way, and when it comes to an offensive line, Perreault, Martin, and Sealing, folks, you got that line in your team, you're going to get a lot of goals. And young Smith and Gare are excellent hockey players. I would think this Buffalo club's going to go a long way.
Well, it's been a game and a good series. In just a moment, our three-star selection.
Nothing like a Coke.
Coke and Life, Coca-Cola and Life. It's for people like you, people who do what you want at Canadian Tire. Anything you want to do what you want, and you can get what you need. You can do anything you want to do. It's for people like you. Who do Canadian Tire. It's for people.
Ladies and gentlemen, here are the three stars as selected by Hockey Night in Canada. The first star, Bob Sauvé. The second star, Gilles Perreault. And the third star, Harold Snepps.
We'll return with Stanley Cup 80 in just a moment.
Singing is number one in people pleasing.
Cougar XR7. Why envy what you can own? For the 1980s, Mercury unleashes a striking new cat. New Cougar XR7. Lean, trim, and featuring improved fuel economy with a new 4.2-liter V8 engine. New style. New luxury. And new innovative electronic options. Cougar XR7. Why envy what you can own? Cougar XR7 at the sign of the cat.
The final score here in Vancouver, the Buffalo Sabres defeating the Vancouver Canucks 3-1 to win the best-of-5 elimination round, 3-1. Babe Pratt, the three stars of tonight's game, Bob Sauvé, Gilbert Perreault, and Harold Snepps, and you would agree with that?
I would agree 100%. Finally, those fellows upstairs did the job. Yeah, I would say Sauvé was there when they needed him, and Perreault, a superstar. You know, this is awful tough for a club like Vancouver when you're playing against a team with 3 or 4 superstars like Martin, Perreault, Gare, Schoenfeld back there, and now they got the great goaltending, they got the great penalty killing. Buffalo could go a long ways. The only thing that's going to beat them are teams like the Islanders and Boston who will grind them out. I think they're good enough to beat Montreal, but it's those other two clubs that will, and even Philadelphia, you know, getting them with the body. The same, they had an awful lot of trouble tonight, you know, with Vancouver. They just won by 2-1, and, you know, on a great play by Perreault. Here's a guy that can really bust out of that zone. I can't fault anybody for getting caught on the play, and he made a great shot, so you can't fault the goaltender. A great play. It deserves the victory, and this is just what happened.
Let's take a look at that winning goal. It comes at 2:04 of the final period, and it made the score 2-1. The other goal is an empty net goal from Rick Sealing. Here's the winning goal from Gilbert Perreault.
You see, Logan misses the puck, but that is not the play. What's his name there? Lindgren gets back, and he forces him out to the angle, but Perreault is deke and fake, and then he lets one go right inside. You know, that's from 30 feet out. It's just a beautiful shot. And when he got all the wood he possibly could on it and followed through just like a good putt, you know. That's what you got to do with that slap shot. Pick your spot, follow through, and he did it, and the game's over.
Dave, thank you for your comments. Now let's go to Ted Reynolds, who's standing by with a guest. Ted?
Thanks, Steve. Well, the Canucks lost, but they lost after giving it a great effort to a great hockey team, and I think they have formed themselves a great unit finally, and an integral part of it is assistant coach Dave Dunn. You got to be proud of those guys.
Well, we had some odds that we had to overcome to even get into the playoffs, and going into last week, the odds were against us being there, and the odds were against us being able to beat this club in a 5-game series, but we went down to two 1 games. We beat them 1 game, and with the exception of the first period of the second game where they got 4 goals, we battled them even in every period, and we just maybe a little more finesse around the net could have changed it.
And having to go into this game here without Hanlon hurt and without Tiger, I mean, that's quite a handicap.
Well, we certainly miss Tiger because of his experience in the playoffs. He was in many games like this with the Leafs where it's 1-1 or 2-1, and we don't have many players with that kind of experience. And you can't say enough about Gary Bromley. We pulled him off the seat last night to go in, and he hung in there last night, and he came up with the effort tonight. And it would have been a tough series if we had to go back in Buffalo without Hanlon to go in the nets. It's a tough grind with the travel, but none of our guys quit, and you got to be proud of that.
What was the feeling going into the third period?
Well, we felt that we had to try to come after them, and we didn't want to get a goal in the first 5 minutes. Unfortunately, we had one against us as we planned not to have, but we can't begrudge what happens on the ice now. It's all over, and we're getting ready for next year.
Well, you certainly can't fault Bromley at all. And as Babe Pratt pointed out when we replayed that goal by Perreault, there's one of the great hockey players in the world got the goal that beat you.
That's right, and it took him 4 games to get it. So, you know, we can't be discouraged about that. And when I see him coming down the wing, I got to think our goalie's going to be crazy to stand in there. And he found the corner, and he put it away. And we fought back after that and had some chances, and he made some saves at the other end, and we missed the net on some other ones, and season's over for us now.
Is the assessment that we made upstairs correct, that this has formed into a unit now, perhaps just in the last little while of this season? You people have come very close together.
Well, I think whenever you're the underdog and everybody says you're not going to make it and you're not as good as you really are, we knew we were better than our record over the season. We didn't have any excuses, but we had a tough time during parts of the year, and we just wanted to make everybody else believe, because when we went out of any dressing room, we believed that we were better, and that makes that feeling, as you said, that feeling of togetherness, and if we go down, we're going to go down with 20 guys, and that's what happened.
Dave Dunn, assistant coach at the Canucks. Thanks very much, Dave. Pass along our congratulations to Harry and the guys. And now back to Steve Armitage and our first star.
Thank you, Ted. I'm sitting with Bob Sauvé, who had an outstanding series for the Buffalo Sabres. He shut out the Canucks 6-0 in a key game in Buffalo, and then you come up with a big win here, 3-1. Tell me, did you expect the Canucks to be as tough as they were?
Well, not after the second game, you know. Like when we won the second game, that was the biggest one, you know. They were trailing 2-0. So, you know, we kind of expect them to quit a little bit, but I guess they didn't. You know, they won a big game last night, and I think they were tough tonight, too. They played a big game, you know, and it was tough for us.
What about the alternating between yourself and Don Edwards? Does it bother you at all?
No, it's been pretty good this year, you know. Like, well, I've been playing more this year than the years before, and it keeps us both sharp, I think. It's good for us, you know. There's a little competition between me and Donnie, and it's good for both of us, even so we're really good friends, you know.
A lot of people expecting the Sabres to do big things in the playoffs. There'll be a lot of pressure on yourself and Don Edwards as Vezina Trophy winners.
Yeah, there's always pressure for a goaltender in the playoff, because I think he's the key man, you know, for a team, you know. Looks like maybe that's why Vancouver did so well, because they had a great goaltending last night, and they had some good goaltending from Bromley tonight. And